and welcome in to the Josh Ennis Show. It's Josh and Jilly today. There is no Luther. Luther is at daycare today getting his play on. So Luther is in a good mood today.
He is, which is rare for him lately.
I know.
He's been kind of a snotty little douchebag.
I think that's fair to say. I think it's fair to say that Luther has been a snotty little douchebag lately. But that's not because of Dr. Busby.
No.
I'll tell you that because Dr. Busby's doing wonderful for old Luther. Of course, at ToeGrips.com. ToeGrips.com. Dr. Busby is the best.
I think that's why he's snotty is, with your internship and all, it's harder to take him to these parks during the day.
Yep.
So he's got all this energy for the Dr. Busby.
I think you might be onto something there, Jilly.
And he wants to go. I mean, it's not just you, with your job and stuff, but also he gets crabby with it.
Yes, he does. But he's not crabby with old Dr. Busby, though. ToeGrips.com. That is ToeGrips.com. You can get the Encore mobility and help your puppies get around a whole lot better, like Luther does. Luther gets around better now because of ToeGrips.com, in particular, the Dr. Busby supplement known as the Encore Mobility, which promotes hip and joint flexibility, restores mobility and comfort, and renews vigor and vitality. And I urge you to get a bottle or two or three or however many you need at ToeGrips.com. It will help your dog out. This green-lipped mussel and New Zealand deer velvet delicious treat for your puppies. They love it, and they will get around better, and it is awesome. So check them out. That is at ToeGrips.com. That is ToeGrips.com. $30, 30-day money back guarantee, I should say, and a 10% discount if you use the promo code Luther. That's Luther if you use the code Luther. 10% off Luther. And, of course, you can get the toe grips there, and they've got the do-it-yourself nail trimming kit. It is awesome what they've been doing at ToeGrips.com. We love them. It will help your dogs. Your dogs will thank you. I promise you, your dogs will thank you for this. It is ToeGrips.com. That is ToeGrips.com. You okay over there,
I tried
Jilly?
to hold it in. I
need to get you a cough button over there.
It was a sneeze, first of
Well,
all.
I know that, but it's the same basic
let's
concept.
not act like a cough button would mute that. It would hear it in your mic.
That's true.
And everyone would still see it.
That's true. But anyway, it's ToeGrips.com. 10% off if you use the promo code Luther. Get your delicious vittles now for your puppies and help them get around a whole lot better. Now, let's see. Dad's going to join us here in about 15 minutes.
Because it's your birthday today.
It is my birthday
Yay.
today, so Dad is going to join us. Dad sent me a text yesterday, and it just said, how old are you going to be tomorrow?
And do you have a Venmo?
And do you have a Venmo? These are the two things that my dad sent me. Do you have a Venmo? And how old are you? So we're going to see when Dad's going to join us here in about 15 minutes. When Dad joins us, we're going to see if he can guess what year I was born.
Well, he already put on Facebook your age, so I think he's got it figured out.
I don't know that he does. I don't know that he knows that 1986 equals 34 years. I don't think he knows that.
I got some faith in Scotty. I think he's got this one.
I don't. Okay. Then everybody stand by for this, and this is going to happen here in about 15 minutes. First question we're going to ask Dad right out of the chute is going to be, what year was I born?
He'll, relate it to where he was at a radio station or something, and then that's how he'll know.
I'm telling you, he's not going to know it. I will bet $10. I'll bet you $10 that Dad does not know that I was born in 1986. He's going to guess 85 or 87. He doesn't do math well. I'm telling you, he is going to botch this.
All right.
It's going to be a disaster. So we will talk with Dad here in about 15 minutes or so.
I also like nobody hates birthdays more than you. I don't even think you hate birthdays. I just don't think you care.
Why? I mean, I'm 34 years old. Why would I care about my birthday? What am I doing?
I love these other people. You see some grown adults who take it way too seriously. I've seen statuses on Facebook of grown people saying well, my COVID birthday wasn't what I had hoped for.
Because I'm not a child. I'm not a child like these dopey-ass people on the internet that whine. It's just another day. It's a birthday. Who cares?
There was one guy, you've seen how, the kids will have, birthday parades. That's cute. Whatever, you're a kid.
Yeah.
There was one guy who I think turned 37, I want to say.
Okay.
And he was just so excited because his friends gave him a car parade.
So, I don't know. I just don't get into it. It's not like we're going out to party or anything. I got to go to do the radio show here in 2 hours. I'm doing the podcast now.
I offered to take you to steak night, and you didn't want to sit outside because it was too hot.
Well, it's too goddamn hot. I'm not going to sit outside in the heat. I don't care that it's steak night. I mean, I like steak and all, but I'm not going to sit outside and sweat and be miserable over it.
So now I just got to go to the store, and I've got to make your favorite dinner, which we call noodle treat.
Well, let me tell you something. The birthdays have never been the same, and birthdays will never be better than when Tank took us all out for my birthday.
Yeah, we can.
Why can't I find a woman like that, like Jesse's girl? I wish that I had Jesse's girl. I want Jesse's girl. Why can't I find a woman like that? Jesse's girl. Where'd you get it? Jesse's girl. I want it.
So that was the date on that is August 6th, 2016.
That was your 30th.
That was my 30th birthday, and Tank took me, you, Farzy was there.
We had a whole party bus.
Sludge
it was Summer
there.
of Sludge.
And so was Matt Battle was there. I think that was
Jason
Farsi's
Cage
wife
was there. Farsi's wife met us.
We went to, well, first of all, Tank took us to one of these like Brazilian steakhouses. And both Tank and I don't understand the concept of the red card at these places because red is, red is stop, green is go. And if you put green, that means keep bringing meat. And all they did was just kept bringing meat. It was a nonstop meat party.
That was the greatest birthday party that I've ever been to. My own, anyone. That was the greatest birthday party.
And Tank picks us up in a a party bus
with Uncle DJ.
Was Uncle DJ driving the party bus too?
I thought
no,
so.
I thought he drove a limo. I think this was somebody else.
We met Uncle DJ twice.
Okay, then maybe this was that. So then we were eating steak and everything, and then we go to a karaoke bar. And what's great is you're in your own little private room in this karaoke bar. So there's no stage. You're just kind of standing around. But Tank is sitting there on a couch, sweating his ass off, drinking his Johnny Walker, and doing Jesse's Girl.
Correct.
And that's what that audio I just played was.
We went to Oscars for a little bit. The party bus dropped us off there. And then for some reason we went to the Rocky Steps. Why did we do that?
I don't know, but there was an ice cream truck there. I think maybe we stopped because Tank saw the ice cream truck.
Oh,
I think that might have been it.
I was like, why would we go to the Rocky Steps? That's
Why can't I find a woman like that, like Jesse's girl? I wish that I had Jesse's girl. I want Jesse's girl. Why can't I find a woman like that? Jesse's girl. Where'd you get it? Jesse's girl. I want it.
And did somebody sing Black Hole Sun at this? Or what was the really depressing? Did Battle do a really depressing?
I mean, that sounds right.
I feel like that might have happened.
And also we had like the giant bottles of Tito's like on the stripper bus. It was just stripper poles in it. It's like called the stripper bus. And then we ended up at the Moose, of course.
Yes, we did.
And that's where I think things started to get real fuzzy.
Yes. And that was my 30th birthday. And I don't get into birthdays.
Were you fired by then or no?
No, I got fired like 2 weeks later.
Oh, okay.
I think if that was on the 6th, my birthday is the 11th. That party was on the 6th. That means I got fired, I think, on the 24th. So about 2.5 weeks later is when I got fired in Philadelphia. So how about that?
Well, you're right. No birthday can ever top that, like for anybody. So why
no,
try?
Of course not.
That was
the
greatest time.
No, it was awesome. So, but that was the birthday in 2016. And then today I'm going to the radio station. I'm doing the podcast right now. Then I'm going to the radio station. And then I'm going to sit around and I'm going to use the GIST system to bet on basketball. And then watch hockey, of course, because the playoffs start.
Legit playoffs now.
Yeah, so
Very
it's going down. We're all excited. So, but
and soccer if you want.
well, the MLS championship. That's your Orlando, whatever they're called. It's Orlando FC. I don't know what the hell they're called.
I've rode them with a hot streak here, and you didn't bet on them the last like 2 times I told you to bet on them.
I know, I blew it.
But
now the big thing going on today, and we'll talk with Dad in about 10 minutes here to see. Now you got to stick around to find out if Dad knows what year I was born.
I think he does.
I don't think he does.
With it.
I don't think he knows what year I was born, and we're going to find that out here in about 10 minutes. But Clay Travis today had Trump on the show, and we listened to the entire thing. It wasn't like it was a hardcore, scathing interview. I mean, there are various types of interviews, and Clay is very good. Like, I would have done the same thing probably. I wouldn't have been on there grilling the president. You have the president on the show for 20 minutes.
Throw
and you're
in
on
some
his
sports.
Yeah,
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 some
like, I'm not
light-
going to
yeah.
grill him. I'm not going to be like that Australian guy. Like, that's not my job. My job is to not grill the president. But it was fluff.
I thought he did
was-
good, though. I mean, it was a
fluff.
good interview.
But it was fluff. I think it's fair to say it was fluff.
Well,
I mean,
again, if I'm listening to Clay Travis or like a sports show like that, I'm not looking for a hard-hitting.
correct. I want to get
So for what it was, I thought it was good.
I want to get the answers to the questions about sports. And by the way, when I say sports, I'm talking about two very big things, whether or not the NFL is going to happen and whether or not college football is going to happen. And those questions were asked. Of course, Trump is going on this show because, Clay's got an audience. He's got a huge website. And I know Clay downplays the idea that he's conservative, and I don't believe that he's conservative either. But he knows his base. He knows who he's playing to. He knows the audience of Outkick.com, just like I know the audience of this show. Everybody knows their audience. But Trump was on today with Clay Travis. Let's get to this one first. This is Trump talking about the status of the NFL.
Well, they want to open, and they want to open badly, and they've been working with government. I would say this, if they don't stand for the national anthem, I hope they don't open. But other than that, I'd love to see them open, and we're doing everything possible for getting them open. They can protest in other ways. They shouldn't protest our flag or our country.
And then that he uses this platform to keep pushing across that message of not taking a knee for the anthem. As you know, I don't give a shit if people take a knee for the anthem. It doesn't concern my life, and it's not going to impact me watching the game. But he knows that when he's in these formats and these forums, he plays to his audience. His audience is people who are those who are opposed to kneeling for the flag. I get it. I get why you're doing it. It's politics. I get it.
So
But I just don't care.
how long until Drew Brees tweets him and says it's not about the flag?
Oh, that's a great question, Jilly. If Drew is going to stay in his new character and Drew is a total fraud, now you got me going on Drew again.
Because this is the perfect time for him to be like, see, I've learned.
See, that's the thing about Drew, though. Drew is a fraud. At least Trump stays in character here. Trump has been with this whole don't take a knee during the anthem for the whole thing. Now now I'm going again. Now I'm going to sit here and go off on this lame-ass Drew Brees. You ever hear the song, you got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything? Drew Brees falls for everything because he stands for nothing. He is flip-flopped. He is a coward. He is a fraud, and I despise Drew Brees. He is a coward. I'm just sick of Drew Brees. Like, I'm disgusted. I don't care if you believe in standing for the anthem or not, but stand for something. You're a fraud. Drew Brees is a fraud. At least Trump is over here saying, hey, see me, I get it's politics, and I know who he's playing to, and I'm totally cool with it because I get what he's doing. But, like, Drew Brees is one moment going, well, I got relatives in the military, and I'm never going to disrespect the flag, to, hey, I was watching the John Lewis documentary, and boy, blacks are great, huh, guys? Really sorry that I was racist. I'm terrible. Hey, here's $5 million for this black cause. Here's this. Hey, what do you guys think of NWA? Hadn't heard them before, but man, they're swell. Great music. I hate Drew Brees, the person. He's a fraud, and he stands for nothing. I couldn't care less if he would have stood up and said, everybody stand for the anthem or you're assholes, or if he would have said, I take a knee right from the jump. But to flip-flop and be a douchebag the way he has completely crushed my soul because I love Drew Brees. And now I hate Drew Brees.
It's good that you bought that new Drew Brees jersey.
I will wear that jersey too because I bought it. I bought it when he was standing for something. Then when he completely waffled like a pussy.
I think it was like an hour after you bought that jersey. He was like, well.
He's like, let me tell you about how racist and terrible I am. It's me, Drew Brees, and I have finally seen the light. Me and my wife got together and we watched Boys in the Hood. Did you know this stuff happens? I was watching the Rough Riders Chronicles on BET yesterday. I have never heard this music before. It is so good. All right, so anyway, that was Trump on the NFL. Now here's Trump talking about, and I love this answer. It's a long, rambling answer about college football. But at first, it starts with name-dropping two of the biggest coaches in two of his biggest areas, Alabama and Louisiana. But then he just randomly name-drops Lou Holtz in there as well.
Well, first of all, those people, the people in that sport, it's just like incredible people. And, like some of the coaches like Nick Saban and Coach O. How about Coach O?
He's amazing.
He's central casting, right? You're doing
Yes.
a football movie, you got to pick him as your coach, right? And,
Yes.
and put him in the movie. And Lou Holtz is just a fantastic guy, a friend of mine. He's been a supporter from the beginning. And, just so many others. They're just great people. And they want to play football. and they know better than anyone else. The other thing is, and somebody was explaining, I had actually one of the great doctors. They said these people are so powerful and so strong, and not lots of body fat, although you could take a couple of offensive linemen perhaps and dispute that, but not a lot of body fat, maybe none in some cases, and they're very healthy people. People don't realize it's a tiny percentage of people that get sick, and they're old. It just attacks old people, especially old people with bad heart, diabetes, or some kind of a physical problem, a weight problem. Isn't it wonderful that I'm of a perfect physical specimen? It's so great.
Yeah, you're 3% body fat, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, and I'll finish that in a second. What I like, though, is it's not a combative interview. Like, the combative interviews can be left for the Australian guy on Axios. Like, I know that people rip, like Barstool got ripped by their own people, mind you, because Portnoy interviewed the president and didn't grill him. Well, you know what? He's the president. And guess what? My guess is not too many people, when they had the opportunity to grill Obama on sports programming, actually grilled Obama on sports programming. You know, when Obama's sitting there during the NCAA tournament and filling out a bracket on ESPN, it'd be like people bitching that they weren't talking with him about Benghazi or something. Like, it's absurd. But of course, people get angry when anybody is talking to Trump, because if you're talking to Trump, he's a scumbag and you must destroy him and you must rip him because he's dreadful and awful. I do appreciate that Clay doing the interview in this particular case, it wasn't combative. I mean, was there anything of real huge substance? No. Okay. But it doesn't really need to be. You got the president on your show for 20 minutes. You've got 20 minutes with the president, and nothing you're going to tell him is going to change his mind. So why not talk about the things you find interesting? If I had Trump on the phone, I'd be doing old school Stern interviews with him and talking about the most random shit I could think of. Yep. So I know that people are going to rip Clay for it, and I know that people are going to say he's kind of in his pocket, whatever. Clay doesn't care. I know he doesn't care. I don't care. I don't think this interview needed to be Axios. It didn't need to be CNN.
Well, again,
it didn't need to be Chris Wallace. It's be chummy with the guy. He is the president, and he's not Hitler. I know a lot of people say he's Hitler. He is not Hitler. If it were Hitler, you wouldn't be chummy with Hitler. He's not Hitler.
Well, again, Clay knows his audience. His audience isn't going to want somebody screaming at Trump and combating with Trump and stuff. So he's smart. He knows his audience. He's got the freaking president on his show. I mean,
correct. I don't think you're going to go out and try to eviscerate the guy and destroy the guy.
It's just not that. It wouldn't work. It doesn't make sense.
Let's see here. Let's continue.
That's right. I was 0%. Didn't I have 0%? Somebody said I had 0% body fat. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
But this attacks older people very viciously. By the way, it can be if it's the wrong person. But these football players are very young, strong people, and physically, they're physically in extraordinary shape. So they're not going to have a problem. You're not going to see people, could it happen? But I doubt it. You're not going to see people dying. And many people get it, and they have, like kids, they get it. They have the sniffles. Young kids, almost none have a serious problem with it. Literally, you look, I think I said the state of California, almost nobody that's young had zero, had a problem with, meaning a serious problem with this disease. They get better very quickly if they get it at all.
So that was Trump, some of Trump on Outkick today. It was about a 20-minute interview. Clay did, a good job. It depends. If you're sitting there looking at this, asking for Trump to be Axios or to be some sort of hard-hitting interview, it wasn't. But I would do the same thing. Real talk, if I had Trump on the air, I'm not going to sit here and do some hard-hitting 20-minute interview.
Now,
could there be? I'm going to. You know what? Let's try to get Trump on the show.
I feel like he doesn't.
All right,
say,
Joe, get Trump on the show, Joe in Philly. Let's make it happen.
He doesn't say no to a lot. So.
Well, he might say yes to us. Who knows? I don't know. But it is funny that in this he's talking about college football and whether or not the guys should play, and I think they should. I think the guys should be given the opportunity to play. You can't sit here and tell me that these guys are adults and they should be paid millions of dollars because they're being whored out and they're prostitutes and they're slave labor. You can't do that and then tell me they're kids whenever it comes down to this. Let them make decisions. I've seen a lot of parents, and I wouldn't doubt that a lot of these parents are kind of coached up by these universities. I wouldn't doubt it because a lot of it sounds similar in a lot of different places. But if they want to play, they are adults. Let them play. Shouldn't be that difficult. Let them play. They are adults. They're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 years old. Let them make their own decisions. Do the league, and the leagues have done a terrible job. There's nobody overseeing anything in college football. So some leagues want to play, some don't. Whoever wants to play, let them play. And if they want to join some super group together, if they want to be the damn Yankees of college football conferences and play a season, let them play it if they want to do it. Don't deprive people of the opportunity to play. Don't deprive these cities of their economic opportunities because of this. Don't deprive players of their opportunity to be seen by the NFL and blow up. Don't do it. There's an idea. Give them the opportunity and let them make a choice. We sit here and tell people all the time that young people should be making choices. We got people that want 15-year-olds to be voting. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, God, they should be able to make a vote for who the president is. Well, if somebody is 15, 14, 15, and can vote for who the president is in your mind, then they should be able to elect what they want to do with their body. Oh, that's right. My body, my choice, right? My body, my choice. If I want to kill a baby that's inside of me, right? My body, my choice. Well, it's my choice if I want to play college football. Now, I also understand the counter argument to that. And the counter argument to that is that, they could pass it on to somebody else. And yes, college football needs to do a good job of getting these guys isolated, which might be easier said than done. But the idea that the guys who are going to actually be out there playing having no say in what happens, I do have a problem with that. They should, because it's their body. And by the way, there are a lot of things that are dangerous. NASCAR's dangerous. Newsflash, guys going 200 miles an hour in a circle for 5 hours. Kind of dangerous.
Football
but they make their choice.
Dangerous.
Absolutely, it's dangerous.
It's already a risk going into it.
Our moms knew that football was dangerous when we were 5 years old, and they didn't want us to play, okay? So we've known that for a long time. This isn't breaking news that football is dangerous, that NASCAR is dangerous, driving to school is dangerous.
But it is almost insulting to these guys. Like, oh, you're a kid, as you say. You're too dumb to make the right decision. I mean, a lot of these guys, some of the guys that have already opted out for the season, they are smart. They know, like, okay, well, I've got, my grandma's been sick, or my mom has, a condition, and I don't want to play. They're smart. I mean, they can make their own decision.
100%. Now, I understand that there are people above them that need to be involved in the decision. I understand there are people above them that that need to set the parameters, but these guys want to play. And I'm not saying this from the standpoint of selfish, dopey sports fan, although I love college football and I want to watch college football, and I know it's not going to be similar to what college football has been in the past. I understand that. I respect that. But if they want to play, I wouldn't want to deprive somebody of the opportunity to play, and I wouldn't want to deprive those cities. Now, we've seen other stuff about like heart issues that can come from this, myocarditis or whatever the hell it's called, which can impact a very low percentage of people, at least at this point. That is a risk. And if a player wouldn't want to play because they fear that, I would not fault them for that. This is the same as baseball, football, basketball. People have been given the opportunity to opt out.
Right.
I mean, I guarantee you there's some guys that play in the NBA right now that are 20, 21 years old. Like, how old is our guy in Memphis, John Morant? 20? How
20.
old is Fatty in New Orleans? 20? Okay, so let's look at Zion. If Zion would have said, yeah, I don't want to play, the risk is too great, I'm afraid of the Rona, he's how is he different? Oh, because he plays in the NBA, he's different than a college football player? They're both young dudes making decisions.
And like I said, a lot of these college kids, not a lot, but there's been a handful already who have said, hey, I'm going to opt out of the season. And that's fine. It should be their choice.
It should absolutely be their choice. All right, let's see here. Before we get to Dad, we're going to find out if Dad knows what year I was born. But who do I have to tell them about, Jilly?
Prime One Consulting.
Prime One Consulting. That is right. That is our buddy Jason, and he is in the business of mold. Our bathroom's really moldy. I need to get Jason back out here, but I'm afraid to see what results he'll get. He'll end up telling us that we're just living in the moldiest bathroom ever.
Well, he's pretty much already told us that because he did come out and do the check.
He did. Like, I go into the bathroom and I feel fine. I get out of the shower. I feel like I'm dying, and I think it's the mold's fault. But they can come out and do a mold inspection for you if you're buying or selling a property, if you're moving into a rental property, if you have frequent sinus headaches or sinus issues, immune-compromising illnesses, or if you've had recent water damage to your property. Well, I would urge you to get in touch with Prime One Consulting because you need to get an inspection done. They'll come out. They'll go through the whole process. It's an 8-step process, but they do a great job. It's a fast process, and within a day or two, you will get the analysis, the results back from your lab analysis of your air. They do a great job. They're a great company here in Houston. We love them. We love them over at Prime One Consulting. And you'll get $50 off if you mention the Josh Ennis Show. $50 off if you mention the Josh Ennis Show. That is Prime1consulting.com. The number is 281-545-5005. 281-545-5005, prime1consulting.com. What's next?
Aqueduct Plumbing.
Aqueduct Plumbing. That is our friend Billy and his sister Mary at 281-488-6238. That is the phone number. They came out to the house a couple weeks ago because the sink was so bad and so backed up that the sink would literally fill up with water if water wasn't running. It was not a good thing. So Aqueduct came out. I mentioned it on Facebook, actually. Was able to get back in touch with Aqueduct, who we did business with when we were at 790. And boom. Now take a look at it. They're back on the podcast, and they do great work here in the Houston area. From repipes and leak detection to plumbing fixtures and these tankless water heaters, which are changing the game. They are awesome over at Aqueduct Plumbing Company. They are local. They are wonderful. And would you agree the service was great?
Yes, we used them twice already.
Then
Both times.
Yep.
Super quick, super easy. Boom.
Yes, sir, ma'am.
Problem solved.
Yes, ma'am, sir. Look, I don't put a sex on anything. I'm just going to call you a person. Yes, person. 281-488-6238. AqueductPlumbingCompany.com there at your disposal. All right, let's do this. Let's get Dad on the phone. All right, so let me talk to the people in the Twitch chat really quick here and see. Are people assuming that Dad is going to know the year I was born? Will my dad know the year I was born?
I think he will.
I don't think he will.
Because he's already put your age on Facebook, and I know he's not great with the math, but
he's
I think
not good at math at all.
He's going to have seen like a picture that has like the 86 on it or something, or he's going to, like I said, he's going to relate it to wherever he was at that time in radio.
All right, so we're going to see here. I am guessing no. No is going to be my answer on will Dad know what year I was born. Here we go. Let's get Dad on the horn here.
Hello.
Hey, Dad.
Hey.
What's going on?
Same old, same old.
Well, we're live on the podcast right now, and people have wanted to hear from.
I'm one of four.
No, we got like 100 people watching right now, Dad. So we're kind of a big deal. Okay, we're getting bigger. So let me ask you a question. What year was I born?
Well, that's a good question, Josh. And
what year?
Shoot me a text on that.
What year was I born?
I'm going. Cindy asked me that last night. I said, dear. It was either 86 or 87, but I'm gonna go with 87.
Oh man, Scotty! I had all the faith in you.
No, it's 86.
Oh man! I was confident that you would get it right.
Well, thanks, Jilly.
Oh God! So what made you guess 87?
Well, because that was the year I graduated. But you know what? Now that I think about it, you were about a year old when I graduated. So
I was a year old, and you were about 21 when you graduated from high school.
Yeah.
If you graduated in 1987, then you were 21 when you graduated from or 20. You were 20 when you graduated from high school. What were you doing?
I flunked a few years,
How many? How many years did you flunk in high school?
Well, in all honesty, I flunked one in the 6th grade, but that's a long story. I went to like 3 years of kindergarten.
No, I believe that too, actually. But so the day I was born, first of all, let's go back to when I was conceived. Do you have any idea, like what particular moment I was conceived? Because
absolutely, okay. I know exactly that. I'll never forget. It was between Dallas and Dynasty on a Friday night.
Look at that! And then boom, because I'm guessing that you and Mom didn't get down too often.
No, your mom gave me 5 minutes, and I literally, how like years ago, back in the 80s, they would do the TV shows would end at about 5 minutes to the top of the hour, and you'd have roughly about 5 minutes of commercials to go use the restroom, get you a drink before the new show started at the top of the hour.
Yep.
So now they just roll right into them, But yeah, I had 5 minutes, and I'll never forget. I looked over at your mom when Dallas went off, and she goes, "Well, come on."
And just like that.
And then there I was 9 months later.
Yeah.
But were you in high school then? So you had to have been in high school, obviously, when I was conceived.
Yeah,
so
I was
what is
getting
it like
my
having
diploma, and your mother was I was getting my diploma, and your mom was holding you in the stands watching me. She had graduated the year before.
I believe she probably graduated 4 years before you.
So it was 1 year.
So what is it like then going to high school knowing that you have a kid?
Well, it was pretty cool actually, because a lot of people, when you get you get the whole, oh, he's so cute. Let me hold him. Let me hold him. Let me hold.
Well, I mean, it's not like you brought me to school with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I actually did a couple of times because your mother was working, at Shoney's, and I said, well, look, I'll just not go to school today, and I'll just watch, Josh. Well, then your mom would be gone, and I'd go, damn it, I've got that art class I've got to be at, or he's going to flunk me. So I would just pack you. I just packed you. I'll never forget. I walked into art class, and I had you in my arm, and I sat down. I was just holding you, and everybody's staring at me. Teacher comes up, and he goes, Mr. Ennis, what do we got here? I said, well, this right here is Joshua Edward Ennis. This is my son. His mother is at work, and yeah. So he wanted to find out all about artwork. So here he is.
So how about that?
Yeah, and so luckily I had a pretty cool art teacher. He was really cool. And so he goes, well, Mr. Ennis, that's not how we do things around here, but you can let him go back here and play in the books while you do your work there. I don't see any problem with it, but let's don't make it a habit.
Well, you had to be scared shitless when you found out that Mom was pregnant, though, right?
Oh, yeah, right. I was. It was pretty scary, actually.
Do you actually remember this? I don't like you're kind of stalling here.
Yeah. Well,
what does the story go? How do you find this out? How does Mom tell you this?
Yeah, and I didn't have a pot to piss in either, so we were living with your grandma.
How does Mom tell you this?
So we were living, at this little apartment we had at the time, little old tiny apartment. This thing was like literally 4x4. And your mom comes home one night. She goes, oh, no. I would go to Shoney's to eat breakfast, and I was there on a Sunday morning, and I was eating breakfast, and she comes and waits on me, and she goes, don't be taking up my tables because I get tips, and when you come in here and sit, I don't make any money. And I said, well, I'll leave you a big tip. And she goes, well, you already left me a big enough tip about a month ago. And I'm like, what? And she goes, yeah, I'm pregnant. Do you want some more coffee? So, I'm like, wait, what? She goes, yeah, I'm pregnant. I go, how can you be pregnant? She goes, well, I mean, do I have to go into detail?
That sounds like something my mom would say.
Yeah.
So then what do you do? So after you find this out, what is your next move?
Well, I mean, other than cleaning up the crap in my pants, I don't know. I mean, I'll never forget, I went to your grandpa, and I said, your grandpa Ralph, and I said, well, you're fixing to be a grandpa. And he goes, Scotty, she's not pregnant, is she? I said, well, yeah. And he goes, you're not even married. I said, well, no crap. I mean, he's like, well, what? I'm like, yeah. I mean, I don't know, Dad. I mean, what do you want me to do? He's coming out in 9 months. I mean, I can't, So.
Long story short, though, I was born.
Yeah.
There you go.
As I got to tell you though, you were a pretty good kid. Laid back, quiet. I mean, what I loved about you is when your mother would get up at 5 a.m. and go to work, she would leave you with me, and I would sleep in till about 8 or 9, and you would be literally at the age of 4 and 5, all over the house. I mean, literally, you were awake, watching cartoons, walking through the house, doing any damn thing you pleased while I slept, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I got Christmas time one time, I got up, and I thought, oh, my God, I got to go check on the boy. So I go in there, and you're sitting there playing with all your Christmas gifts. You're playing with all your Christmas gifts. You had unwrapped every single gift under the tree.
So I just like it. Where's the boy? I gotta find him. Where's he at?
Yeah. And so that was funny. So your mom just comes home. She's like, "Oh, Scott, just wrap him back up. He'll never remember."
Well, that's true too. So what do you think? Do you think they're going to play college football, Dad? This feels like something you would have thoughts on.
Dude, this is crazy, but I don't think so. I don't think you can. But they're going to try to put together, some sort of super conference to play. And I at some point you just got to go, you know what? No, let's look at 2021. Okay.
But what if the players want to play? But they're the ones out there playing. What if they want to play?
Right, but here's the problem you got too. On the other side of the players' defense, they're like going, dude, I plan on going into the NFL next year. I got to have this season under my belt. I got to show people what I can do. So this is going to be the year that screwed a lot of good players out of the NFL, in my opinion, because they didn't get that one last look.
So, but do you think your guy Trump is going to win the election? I mean,
absolutely.
Then you are very confident in this.
Absolutely. We are so screwed if the Democrats get in. We are effed in America. You might as well just watch them burn the Constitution. Now, granted, am I saying that Trump's the best? Absolutely not. Is he way better than any Democrat? Absolutely. I don't give a crap what you say.
All right. So, but you have no doubt that he's going to win, though. You have no doubt.
I have no doubt. I listen, I'm throwing a party at the house. I'll have my cardboard stand up. I'll have my steaks on, my popcorn, my Coke. And we'll just watch them going, Trump wins Ohio, Trump wins Texas, Trump
So what
wins
you're telling me is you believe in this silent majority that people talk about? Because you know how it is. You don't want to tell people. I know in your part of the country it really doesn't matter, but I mean, a lot of people don't want to tell people they're voting for Trump because they don't want to deal with the backlash from it. So that means you believe that there's a lot of people. You believe in the silent majority.
Absolutely. I got to tell you, if anybody votes, now listen, I'll be the first to say this. If there was I'm talking a smart candidate that had reputable, and I hate to use this as a reference, but, Kennedy, John F. Kennedy was good looking. He was smart. He was, he just had style. That's a different kind of candidate. But when you're talking about somebody like Joe Biden, who doesn't even remember his name when he wakes up in the morning, and you want to vote him into office, my God, what are we doing?
Dad, in fairness, you didn't remember what year your son was born, and you know how old I am, so you couldn't even do the math to figure it out.
I came within 1 year. He wakes up and doesn't even remember where his home is.
That's true. I believe that.
I mean, I thoroughly believe that when Biden wakes up in the morning and he reads the newspaper, he looks at his wife and goes, this Biden cat, have you been reading this stuff? Do we like him? You are Joe Biden. Oh, really?
No, I buy that. Now, people want to know what's the latest on Go Fishing the movie.
Hey, Go Fishing is doing good. We got over 20,000 views on our little trailer. Working on we're editing right now. We should be within 2 weeks. We'll have picture lock. Then we'll take it in at Nelson's and start putting in all the music, sound effects.
That's all great. That's all great. But I want to know where are people going to see this. It can't just be, you're going to buy it at Bass Pro Shop. There's all these platforms. You've got to get this on a platform, an Amazon or a Netflix. Yeah. Call Netflix. They will take anything, literally anything.
Here's the deal. We're going to do a big little VIP red carpet here, so probably near the end of October. We will have it on DVD. I'm already in talks with Bass Pro and Cabela's and stuff that they'll put it in.
Okay, but I'm not worried about that. I want you on digital. I want my audience. My audience isn't going to go to no Bass Pro to buy this movie.
We already got a deal. We're just about to finalize the deal with Amazon Prime. Netflix is looking at us. They want to see a rough cut of the movie.
Actually, Dad, I wouldn't show them the movie before. I would just tell them it's really good. I would just see if they'll buy it.
The movie is funny. Hey, listen, in all honesty, this is a pandemic movie. It's a COVID-19 movie. It is funny. Let's don't forget that Ernest Goes to Jail and Ernest Goes to Camp made millions. And
yes, because those had Ernest. Those were Ernest in those movies, and they were in the theaters.
I don't care, but they were still cheap, low-budget movies, Three Stooges type movies.
Well, we want to do a Houston premiere here. Like our audience wants Go Fishing in a Houston theater for a big premiere night.
Well, we'll pick a theater and work a deal.
I know. Listen, I'm very good friends. I'm very good friends with the guy who runs one of the Edwards Theaters here. He's a listener of the show, and because they're worried because they don't have any movies.
We gotta make this happen.
And then we'll do a movie premiere in Jackson, Mississippi. We're working on some other places like in New Orleans and down the coast. And these are just a lot of independent movies, like the way we are. We'll pick about a handful of movie theaters, and they'll do, they'll showcase their movie. But it's going to hit DVD, and we'll have it online to buy, and it will be on a platform, whether it be a Hulu or Netflix or Amazon Prime.
You need Netflix. You need to be on those. You need to be on both. Like Netflix will take anything. Do you see the shit that's on Netflix? They will take anything.
Oh, yeah.
Well, really, Amazon also has a lot of bad shit, too.
Amazon does, too. Amazon.
What was
will
that
pay.
movie we watched that was terrible on Amazon?
Which one?
I know there's so many bad. I watched some movie with Billy Ray Cyrus, and it was a
Yeah.
fishing movie with Billy Ray Cyrus and Bill Engvall on there.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was
yours
a
can't be
fishing
much.
movie, right?
Now, let me ask you this question, because people have also asked me this, because we watched the trailer, and we watched it on Twitch here, and nobody has any clue what this movie's about other than fishing. Why are you guys fishing? I still don't understand
and,
why
that's
you're
a good
fishing.
question, and we're getting ready to solve that problem in the next trailer we do. But the judge sentences us to fish in this bass tournament because to help an old folks home, because he's tired of, the reason we went in front of the judge is for a lot of petty stuff, but we're back in front of the judge because Johnny, one of the three of us, pulls a kid through the drive-through window at the Chuck and Puke for not putting pickles on the guy's sandwich. So the guy dared him to come get him. So Johnny says, so the judge says, "You didn't go out there and beat him up, did you?" He goes, "No." He said, "I pulled him through the drive-through window."
Well, and so that's it. So now the judge then, I don't want to spoil the whole movie here, but the judge says, well, you guys, you're kind of like the Dukes of Hazzard, I take it, and you're always in mischief. So, because this sounds like an amalgamation of about like a Smokey and the Bandit, Dukes of Hazzard. It's like an amalgamation here. But okay, so then you end up having, now why do your buddy, like if your dude pulls the guy through the drive-through window, then why do you two have to go fishing with him?
So the judge looks at us, all three were sitting there. He goes, "So you're here because you pulled a guy through the drive-through window." He looks at me and points to me, and I go, "Well, I kind of held him down." And the other guy, and he points to Tony, and Tony goes, "Guilty by association, Your Majesty."
How do you make money? How do you make money on a Netflix or an Amazon? Do they pay you for the movie?
I think it's gauged on how many views you get.
So you get a percentage based on how many people watch it.
Right.
Okay, so they don't just pay you. Like, you want to get it on Netflix, and they know that, so they'll take anything and then say, hey, like, based on how many streams, you'll make a dime per stream or something like that.
Right, whatever. Yeah.
Okay. So, and when is this being released?
We'll have it probably on DVD and on that platform, ready to go by mid-October. We'll do our red carpet probably the week after that, and we'll have it probably hoping for the Christmas time season here to early November, ready to go up on one of the platforms.
And then what are you doing making a CD as well? I see you buying jackets, looking like a magician, making like CDs. Who buys a CD? Are you selling these out of the trunk of your car? Like this?
Well, I am actually.
Like, what are you doing?
I'm just, it's a way to peddle and make money and send out one of your discs. I mean, they're cheap enough to make. They're less than $1, and you sell them for $15, and they're,
Okay. So just so everybody's up to date now, Dad has a new CD of old music coming out.
It's coming. There's songs that I have written and produced. The demos are called the demo tracks. Is what we retitled the album, the demo tracks. And it'll it's a lot of my work of songs, including handprints on the wall that Kenny Rogers did and all the other artists have done. They're my versions of the songs. So
Dad, I think I could make some money off of you if you can get me like the logo for Go Fishing the movie. I can get it put on T-shirts and I can make money. I can hustle. I think my audience would buy a Go Fishing T-shirt. I actually think I'm dead serious. The wackos that watch this show, they're obsessed with this Go Fishing the movie. So if you can send me a logo,
T-shirts already printed up that we did. I'll send you some.
Well, no, you can just give me a logo and I'll have them put on some T-shirts. Some Go Fish. I guarantee you these people will buy them.
And on the back of the T-shirt, it says, "I love Billy Bass," which Billy Bass is a character that basically comes to the rescue of the Three Stooges, the three goobers in the movie.
Gotcha. Well, Dad, I love you. I appreciate you remembering, not really remembering what year I was born. And I will talk with my guy at the movie theater because I guarantee he'd be like, yep, we'll play the movie because they don't have movies to show. Even when they reopen the theaters, there are no movies. They're showing old movies. Yeah.
And listen, I got to tell you, if anybody doesn't know, I put that picture of you up on Facebook today, you and your mullet. Did you?
I saw that. Yeah, that's a classic. Yeah. That's a good-looking mullet on that kid.
That is. That's nobody wore a mullet like you did. That was Billy Ray Cyrus, pure 100%.
Yep. All right, Dad, I love you. I'll see you.
All right, bye.
All right, see you. So if you guys are interested.
I kind of want to call your mom now and see her version of how she told your dad that she was pregnant.
I want
to see if they match up.
I can try to call Mom.
Like, I'm kind of curious. Like, so we've seen, like, the Scotty, version of the story.
Yes.
So I'm kind of curious what old Tam's, how she recollects this moment.
Okay.
Was it really between, Dallas and Dynasty? Was the big reveal really at Shoney's? Like, these are the questions.
Do we really want to ruin Dad's moment?
I'm just kind of
Do we really want to expose Dad as a liar?
I just want to see how their versions match up.
Should I? I've never talked to my mom on the on anything before. Let me see here. I can try.
You'll see if she answers.
I got a call from the burner phone here, so let me see if she answers. She works from home, right?
Yeah,
so
you might want to send her a text first.
You send her a text because I got to use my phone to send her. So
you won't know the burner phone number.
If you guys want me to, I will call my mom and see. You guys heard the story that Dad told, and we'll see. Josh, just finished my new brakes appointment, 35 minutes, and I had new brakes and rotors on my Silverado for $300. Way to go, Daniel. I appreciate that. Did you tell them that you heard about it on the Josh Ennis show? I hope you did. All right, I'm going to give Mom a call here. Let's see here. Why not? We have never talked to Mom on the show, but I am curious to see her recollection.
I really want to know, like, the difference.
But we won't tell her what Dad said.
Well, no, of course not.
And then we'll see how hers line up. Let's see. Of course not.
We'll also ask her what year you were born in.
I think she knows.
I think so, too.
I think she knows. But I told you Dad wasn't going to know a damn thing about the year I was born. I told you guys that.
So close.
I told you that.
So close.
Let me see if I can get Mom on the phone.
She said okay.
All right, I'm called.
Hello.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Josh.
I am live on my podcast right now, and I have a question for you.
Okay.
The question is, how did you tell Dad that you were pregnant with me?
Oh, well, I was pretty sick for a little bit, and then I thought, well, maybe. Oh no, maybe. So I go to the doctor, and we both went, and then the doctor said that, well, you're gonna have a baby.
Well, see, here's what Dad said happened. Okay, so, and for those who don't know, my mom has glowing things to say about my dad on a regular basis. But Dad said that you were working at Shoney's and he showed up to eat, and that you said that he was occupying one of your tables, and that he needed to leave because he needed to make you needed to make tips, and he said, well, I'll leave you a big tip. To which you then said, well, you've already left a big tip because I'm pregnant.
That's not true. Oh, God, that's not true.
I figured that. I don't really believe much of it.
I would never have said that.
Now, let me ask you this. When I asked Dad earlier what year I was born, what year do you think he guessed?
I don't know, the wrong one.
Yeah. 1987, he guessed, was the year I was born. Even though, here's a text I got from Dad yesterday. It said, what year it says, how old are you? And do you have Venmo? I'm like, what is that? He's like, and so I figured once I told him how old I was, he'd be able to backtrack and figure out what year I was actually born.
Oh, no, he can't do that.
I feel bad because now we've exposed Dad. We've exposed Dad for all of his lies and his fraud ways.
It's just funnier now, though, because like you said, like it sounds like you're kind of making this up, Scott. He's like, no, this is how it went down. But as it turns out.
So how's everything else going, Mom?
It's good, but it couldn't have went down that way anyway.
Why?
Because the day that I found out, I was on call to work. And I called in and I was thinking, please don't say I have to work. Please don't say I have to work. And I didn't have to work. So I wouldn't have been at work when I found out.
See, so Dad's just making stuff up now.
But I mean, in all fairness, he never could figure out. He'd never know how to figure out what year you were born in.
How to figure out.
Because he still asks me how to spell words.
I believe that too, and some of them are probably his own name. I remember one time Dad had forgotten your birthday when we were in. I forgot.
Yeah.
So we get up and he says, "Well, the gift is at the station." And then he and I are at a Kmart, and he's asking like a lady. He's holding up a shirt to this lady. That was one of his moves. It was like, "You're about the size of my wife. Do you think this will fit you?" And then we came back home with this gift that he had bought like 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah, he bought like some clothes or something. And then I was just like, whatever. And then so I took them back and got the money.
That's smart.
Now I know you're at home working and everything, but so wrestling wise, Jilly said there looks to be an angle on this involving Alexa Bliss that looks like it might be good. How do you feel about that? Have you seen it?
Well, yeah, I think that he's going to use Alexa they're going to use Alexa to get Braun to come out of the swamp.
You think, Jilly? Do you think this is right?
I think so. I mean, it's gonna be something like that. It's interesting though, because at least it's something different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
they are.
I think my boy Samoa Joe might be coming back to help out Dominic.
I thought he was going to last night.
I'm waiting. I'm just waiting.
So I was like, go, just hit him, just go, just go. And that little Dominic is so cute. That little face. Oh, they shouldn't beat on him like that.
Yeah, they beat him up real good yesterday.
I know it, and it looked real, his back and everything.
Yeah. Well,
use the
That's
kendo
what's
stick, your
wrong.
favorite.
I do.
Josh.
I like the kendo stick. I'm amused by how there's just this random ninja weapon underneath the ring. But all right, Mom. I got to go because I got to get to my other job too here in a second. So I love you, Mom. I'll see you soon.
I love you too. Happy birthday.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye. You two nerds get into your wrestling talk and then we end up in this.
I just love the two different stories. That's my favorite.
She's like, oh, no, that's not what happened at all.
Like I wasn't even working.
My dad also, when he tells these stories, has a Mike Schilt tendency.
Now, here's the gig.
Everything becomes now, here's the deal. Now, here's the gig.
Has more cojones.
Did you see our favorite Damian Lillard, who we're both really sick of hearing about?
But by the way, they're going to lose in the first round. Like everybody's talking about how great they are. They are going to lose to the Lakers. If they get in, they're going to be the 8th seed, and they are going to lose to the Lakers.
Evidently, he and Skip Bayless are feuding.
Mm-hmm.
Because Skip Bayless last night tweeted, I'm still not buying Dame time, and apparently the Clippers aren't either. Undisputed, noon, whatever.
Yes.
And then Dame responded and said, I have never been buying nothing about you, fam. You a joke. And after our private convo full of backpedaling, you will never have my respect.
Oh, whatever.
Clown emoji.
Whatever.
And then he goes on and says some more stuff about it. And he's like, ask him what he said when I asked him, why are you always hating on Braun? Well, anyway.
But here's the thing, these athletes get all worked up about this Skip Bayless. He's putting on an act. It's all an act.
So I guess Skip Bayless has teased that he's going to respond to Dame today, which is why Skip Bayless is trending. I don't know what he responded to Dame with. But I guess the video is on Twitter now.
Dude, the Dame and Portland, they are no different than Utah or Denver or any of these regular season teams. They don't beat anybody in the playoffs, and they're not going to beat anybody. You're not beating LeBron in the playoffs, Dame. Sorry, Chief. I know that they're all worked up about it, and I know that Chuck says he's putting money on them. It's bullshit. They're not winning.
Any game you watch, everyone's just like outwardly rooting for the Trailblazers and Dame. It's so obnoxious. And that damn Portland broadcast, holy hell.
It's the worst broadcast I've ever heard.
Oh, my God.
And I'm sick of hearing about Dame. And it's worse than the Rockets broadcast. And the Rockets broadcast is one of the worst ever. This one is actually worse.
And I am actually rooting heavily against Portland. I need the Spurs. I need the Spurs to beat the Rockets today. Sorry, Rockets fans. Spurs got to win. Get the Spurs in. Let the Grizzlies stay in. Who's the other team that's in the right? Oh, Phoenix. Let them get in. Why not?
Portland's going to get in, though.
Please, Dame, no.
No, I want them to get in, and then I want them to get swept by the Lakers. Because everybody's so it's weird. Like, listen, I'm not some big James Harden guy, right? Like, I'm not. I don't like James Harden. But like James Harden gets shit on nonstop. And I can't believe I'm defending James Harden to a degree here.
This is like the second time in a week you've
But I
defended
will defend James Harden to a degree. Tell me what any of these other guys that people blow, like everybody blows Russ Westbrook. What exactly has Russ Westbrook won? Dick is the correct answer. What is anybody on Portland won? Now they're all blowing Melo and all these guys. What have they won? They're a second round wonder as well. But everybody loves these, and I get it. There's a bad vibe about Harden, and I'm not some diehard loyalist. You know, I don't even like Harden. I trash him all the time. But there's such an inconsistency when it comes down to ripping Harden versus propping up these assholes like Dame Lillard, who ain't won shit. Has Dame Lillard even been to a conference championship? I don't believe he has. He hits a couple of big shots in a couple of big series. I say big series, like first-round series. He eliminates the Rockets once. He eliminated Russ once. And now he's the biggest shit on the planet. They're going to get their asses worked by the Lakers. And by the way, not only that, here's some more reality for you. Speaking of the Lakers, that fucking white dude with the hair.
Oh, you hate him.
Like, shave it off.
Caruso.
It's gross. It's not even funny. It's gross. Your hair makes me feel sick.
Yeah, you can't even look at him.
I can't. Like, it's gross. And I get it, since you're a basketball player, you probably bang tons of hot chicks, and I respect that, dude. More power to you. That's the perk of being a basketball player. Doesn't matter how ugly you are, you're going to get ass. Good for you. I'm not an attractive guy. I got a good head of hair, but I'm not an attractive guy. Like, dude, shave it off. It's gross. It's like, it's not even like, you look sickly. It's all, now LeBron's hair is terrible too. But at least in the front, it's actually, no, his hair's terrible too. But this dude, it's really just gross to look at. Like, I get it. It's hard to acknowledge that it's over.
He looks like he smells.
He does look like he smells.
Mm-hmm.
He does. Josh, did Mike Meltzer wish you a happy birthday? He did. Mike Meltzer and I are friends. I hate him, but we are friends.
Did he actually just come out and say happy birthday, or did he do like the typical Meltzer where he just sends you like a random thought?
No, I think he actually told me happy birthday. He just said, yeah. Well, I sent him a screenshot of this thing where Clay had Trump on.
Yep.
To which he said, he, whatever that means. To which I said, I've started compiling a list of programmers I hate and why I hate them, which I did do today. I will not tell you the programmers who are on this list, but I'm so sick of these assholes. I'm sick of these programmers. I'm going to be back on top at some point, and when I am, I'm going to go Jordan with it. When I get into the Hall of Fame, I'm going to shit on the coach that didn't put me on the JV team. I'm going to shit on every one of these guys I have on this list, and it's about 10 or 11 deep right now. Not going to tell you who's on this list, but I did this today because I was really annoyed because I saw some people, I saw some jobs that were filled, and I was very angry about it. So I made a list, all right? So to which Meltzer says, yes, I like that. And to which he says, oh, happy birthday. So thank you.
I'm surprised the conversation didn't start with just birthdays.
No, that does seem like Meltzer. People also tell us that there's this show, Love on the Spectrum.
Yeah, we haven't watched
on
it yet.
Netflix. And someone on there is just like Meltzer, which I don't know that Meltzer's ever been diagnosed as on the spectrum, but by my medical expertise, I think he is on the spectrum. I have a nephew that is on the spectrum. His name is Brian Perrant Jr. They call him, or the third, they call him Trip. And Trip with 2 P's is on the spectrum. When I talk with him, it's kind of like talking with Meltzer. Is all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say about that. Let's see. Who's had sex with more men, Jilly or Meltzer? That's not nice at all. That's not. Meltzer himself is not gay, but there is a gay Meltzer that calls the show. Let's see here. But anyway, so got to get to the radio station because I got to make a radio program. So that's what we have to do now.
I have to take you to work today
Yes,
because
you do.
I need the car.
It's take your hubby whose birthday it is to work day.
I need my car.
So make sure, hey, if you guys, if you're watching live, still download the podcast. That's good for us if you download the podcast. So download the podcast as well. Tell your friends about it. Spread the word. I've got a list of all these programmers I hate. And we are at some point like it's gonna be a glorious moment. I sent a text to my agent. She finally texted me back. I'm kind of at the bottom of her interest level right now, but she sent me a text back and she goes, "You're going to be back on top at some point." And I told her when I am back on top and all these people are blowing me and kissing my ass and acting like they never disregarded me and kicked me to the curb, I'm going to tell them all to eat my ass is what I'm going to do, and it's going to be a glorious moment.
That's good. She finally responded to
it
you.
Is.
Though.
It is. Good.
I mean, you thought she was about to dump you.
I thought so. Well, I was going to dump her. To be fair,
I don't think you can do that.
I was going to say it's over. But I'm telling you, man, I feel like that. Like when I see some of these people that are getting these jobs, and I'm seeing the people that hire these people, I will be back, and I'm gonna be back, and I'm already. It's not like I'm far off. I'm on the radio there. I got the podcast that's doing well. We're talking with somebody about expanding the podcast, which is awesome. But I've gotten to that point where it ain't me that's the issue. It's these fucking idiots that are the issue that have no clue, and they're going to find out that they have no clue whenever I'm back on top. And I'm telling them all to kiss my ass when you know what? A Marconi means absolutely nothing, but I'm going to win one.
So basically what you're saying is in about 2 months, the 790 is going to call you again.
They will. Oh, absolutely, they will. But
That's the cycle.
they have 5 people
That's
they hire.
the cycle.
And I will tell them no, too. I will tell them to kiss my ass, too, but I will be back on top, and I have no doubt about that. I have a great audience here. I appreciate the people I work with over at 97.5, and something's going to pop here. And a Marconi is a fraudulent award anyway because they don't even listen to you on the air. You just send 250 words about why you should win and you win it. But it's the highest award in radio. And guess what? I'm going to go win one just so I can tell everybody in that room, all these industry bigwigs, that they can all kiss my ass because they all dismissed me and they're all assholes. So that's what you're going to get it, baby. That's what you're going to get from me. That's what's real.
Boom.
So anyway, now I got to go intern at 97.5.